Hey YouTube, this is Darko6. Bringing you news. I did it kind of late today. I was gonna do it yesterday, but I was too tired. I had to work in the day afterwards. But I went to YCS on Long Beach. It was huge. A lot of people show up. Like literally, I went on Friday to sign up. It wasn't hectic like it was on Saturday, but literally it was a lot of people. On Saturday, like literally, they started the tournament like nearly like almost 1 o'clock, and they were taking like almost an hour and a half, almost close to hours for each match. So they were only able to do like 7 rounds. So they finished like nearly everything finished like 12 o'clock at night, like literally. One actually no, it was like 1 somewhere around there. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was crazy. Literally, it was huge. It was the biggest tournament ever, over 4,000 something. And I took the deck, the one I posted. It did good on the first day. I couldn't go the second day on Sunday because I had to go to work, and I was not expecting it was gonna literally be this long. And I was thinking that it's gonna be like 1, 2, 3, this. And it was my first ever YCS I have ever gone. But I took the deck and it did awesome. The only decks I lost is kind of an antimatter they were kind of antimatter decks. Basically, the first one I lost in the first round. I lost to it was a Wagyu deck, King Tiger or Wagyu, with Burners of the Mighties, Cates, and basically I couldn't summon. Well, basically my searches, my managers, I can search them. TKs didn't let me add anything to my hand, so it's like I was getting dead draws, hoping I could get a dark hole, something to help me up. But that deck literally slowed me down. He was poking me to death, like literally. Not even a marshmallow could even save me. But anyhow, but after that, I went to the second match. I played it was Samurai deck. I won both matches, both rounds. And the next one I went to also I won. It was an Insector. Basically, I was this much to lose. Basically, we were 1-1. I nearly side deck. I didn't want to. I was gonna side deck my my Chain Disappearance and my Ghost match. No, I'm sorry, not Ghost match. The Wagyus, 2 Wagyus and 2 Chain Disappearance. But I like at the last minute, forget about it. Keep their decrease in the deck, and I won by literally. Once I killed the Insector, the Hornet. He was setting afterwards. The next match, I played what was it? A Samurai deck, another Samurai too, and a Dark World deck. And well, basically enough. So that's it was Antimatter, Insectors. The second and the third match I lost, and it was kind of like an Antimatter. He was playing Skill Drain. It was kind of Skill Drain with Beast King Barbosa's and other cards. Literally, I was not drawing anything good either because at Skill Drain I could even play Manju's effects. As well as I played a Joguri deck. I beat it. A Great Keeper. So that's 5. Yeah. And then afterwards, I played. Oh my gosh! It was a tour guide deck. I squashed it too, but the deck, to be honest with you, 5 wins and 2 losses. It makes sense, I lost an anti-meta deck. 2 basically slash, both of them basically slash anti-meta decks. But they held it good, like literally it was pulling it out. They were trying to side deck against it. They couldn't because basically no one was prepared for this deck to show up. I was walking around, trying to see if I see somebody running this deck. I didn't. Well, I don't know who probably some of you guys saw playing this deck, but I played this deck. Mostly people that I was playing with also have fun playing. They were surprised, you know, they thought it was dead, my deck, because since Earth went to 1, you know, but it did awesome. Just have him and Kristya in the field, pretty much you locked them the entire deck. But the card that mostly helped me out, because the Insectors were the Invincibles, because they consider the Insectors, once they're equipped, they consider themselves spell cards. So the Invincible negate the effects. Even though they're monsters, they become themselves continuous spell cards. So therefore, when Invincibles face up in the field, pretty much negate their effects, so they won't be able to detach themselves to destroy cards. So this is a useful card, the Invincible card. Don't get me wrong, it's a tribute, but it helps you a lot, especially with a super poly. They play you, they cannot, you know, they cannot negate. You cannot negate the activation, but the effects negate it. This is the thing that does this. And right now, 3 MSTs at 3, you know, that hurts a lot, the deck. And pretty much the deck did awesome, you know. I didn't see, to be honest with you, I had all these synchros, all of this, and the only thing I summoned, like literally, I'm gonna show you all the synchros that I have, and I have 4 synchros. 4 synchros total, and I didn't synchro at all. The only thing I exceed was either the Dark Mist or the Kachikachis. That was it. I didn't summon Catastor, Brio, none of these monsters I even summoned. I didn't, basically, mostly I was not relying mostly on my synchros. Mostly I was relying on the Herald, because basically Herald takes care of almost everything. He's the main boss of the deck. And I didn't side deck, like you can see. This is what I side deck against decks, like pretty much things that can hurt me a lot. And like literally, I didn't have a side deck a lot. I don't know if you can see this, but I put it's 2 Shadow Imprisoned Mirrors. I didn't face Dark Worlds. Oh my god, card fell out. I didn't face no Dark Worlds. This is my side deck. Literally, I side nothing against them. I've also sorry, I want to say I played those wind-up decks. I didn't have to use the Cyber Dragons either. I didn't side none of this, like literally, and I'm surprised because I was expecting side deck. But part of me won't even want to, because mostly I was relying on the Decree, because mostly the thing I was kind of afraid of it was the Solomon or the I don't know, Solomon and Warning or Solomon Judgment, pretty much. But literally the deck did awesome, you know. To my point of view, I don't know what other people. 3 of my friends told me, you know, you did like they told me they were surprised that I nearly was doing good, because in reality nobody was expecting this deck, because it was not prepared. Usually most people, when it was topping back then, everyone mostly was side decking the Lightning Piercing Mirror, but I wasn't, and they weren't, because mostly they were focusing on the on those tour guys and things like those cards basically. And but it did awesome, you know. But all these cards that I had is like, it didn't hurt me a lot. Expecting they're running almost 31 monsters in the deck, pretty much they did an awesome job in the deck. So it's like, oops, it cannot blur out. It did good, you know. The spell cards I didn't run a lot, you know. I run really little spell cards and trap cards, because really, I don't know if you could see them. Mostly, let me try to put them all up here. This is the deck that I actually run. As you can see, you can count, I run 31 monsters and almost like 8 spell cards and 3 trap cards. From your point of view, you think, oh, I'm gonna draw dead hands. you're right, you know, if I top deck, but mostly the times, you know, I draw the preps and Manjus, you know, they are like a plus for me. I summon Manju, I get the ritual spell card, prep gets me the monster right away. I get an instant herald, you know. Venus helps me thinning the deck. I can summon all 3 mystical balls to summon Kachikachu, the Dark Mist. That's another plus right there because it helps me thinning the deck. As well as the Earth, since it's a 1, at least it helps me up to plus at least 1 card. Hyperion basically helps me up to stabilize the playing field or the graveyard so I can easily summon Kristya. And Marshmallows is just a stall, and Freya may be weak, you know, this and that, you know, but she has 2 that have packs basically protect her. So it's like if I have Freya and Marshmallow, you cannot get around them. You need to destroy Marshmallow first, or the Freya, then not to get around her. So it's like, by the deck, you know, I'm like I say, I only run 3 staple cards. I don't run mysticals. I don't run any of those big play spell cards. Only the staple ones. The 2 spell cards I use to summon Herald, either Advance or the Dawn. Mostly I focus my attention on the Advance, the Prep, the Search, and the Decrease. You know, they're awesome cards. So this is the deck that I run. I run at YCS Long Beach. It did awesome. Well, like I said and said it again, you know, I was excited, but also tiring. You know, standing up a lot, you know, waiting. It kind of basically won you out, but it was awesome, and it was awesome, you know. And expecting that Dark Worlds won, you know, it was kind of anticipated. Nobody was expecting the Dark Worlds win for the 100 YCS. So coming this future on next month, I think April, I think is when I think it's April when the next in my area where it's in April, yes, correct. Where in California, LA, Los Angeles, there's gonna be regionals. I'm gonna go, you know, again, just to have fun, you know, trying to promote the deck back to as glory as it once was. It's not a big I'm like, I know this is not a competitive deck, it's just like sort of a / aggressive deck to basically shut it down. It's kind of like, it's like an anti-meta deck to lock it down, in other words. But let me you guys think about this deck, comment, rate the deck, like the deck, or if you dislike it, that's fine, you know. I've been playing this deck, a fairy deck, for a very long time, ever since I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Since like the Legends of Blue Eyes. There were only a few. I used to play only a few cards, but usually I start playing more fairies when the Shenado card was there. Basically, usually when I was having a fairy deck, I usually had 1 ritual, but I used to have Shenado in the deck, but I basically changed it for Herald. And afterwards, I've been running Herald deck ever since it came out, and then the Hyperion deck, and therefore. So this is Dark 06 logging off. Let me know, you guys know what you think about it, and comment, you know.